Hi there, welcome back to Frames TM. So, a couple of days back, I launched a video that talked about Nikon launching 150 to 600. Well, I got a few things right and I didn't get a few things right. Most of you actually engaged very well with me in the comment section, but some of you had sort of you kind of wanted more meat, you wanted more information. Well, one thing that I try to do on this channel is that if I have information and if I don't put anyone in any sort of trouble, then I come out with that information in a timely manner, not because of any value other than to sort of keep our interests going, keep the conversation going, because you're curious. We are all curious. We want to know more about things, right? So there was only one thing that I was wrong about. I was wrong about it being 150 to 600 lens. It was not that. It's 180 to 600. But broadly, the idea was correct that Nikon wanted to provide us with something where you have a slightly more wider end. So 100, not 150, but 180 mil to 600 mil. Also, I was right about the price, right? I said it's going to be much cheaper than the Sony lens. The Sony lens is about 2000 US dollars. This is 1700 new, and so the Sony lens is already a few years old now. Okay. The other thing I talked about was the timeline. I said it's going to come out late July, early August, but broadly, let's say late July. Okay, depending on there are many variabilities in logistics, right, and dispatch and all of those things. So taking those into account, it could be late July, it could be 20th of July, around that time. It could be the first week of August. I don't have details on that yet. This tells me a couple of things. This tells me that Nikon is now focusing on wildlife for the lower end, which means that this could mean this goes very well with the Z8. This could mean that this is preparation for the next generation of other Z cameras like the Z6 III and the Z7 III. I'm not sure about Z7 III so much in the context of this lens, but definitely the Z6 III. It could also be that Nikon is preparing to launch a crop sensor, slightly more professional body, and I'm very kind of optimistic about that one. I'm optimistic about the fact that Nikon is going to come out with a lens of that nature, a camera of that nature. Now, one thing I must say at this point is that, if you have noticed, I've said earlier in my other videos as well that 90% of my viewers do not subscribe. That's a very low percentage. Most people who cry about people not subscribing on their channels, they will give you a stat of 75% or 80% or 85%. I have 90 plus percentage people of my viewers not subscribing. So it could be that I don't ask you enough, implore you enough to kind of help my channel grow, or that you just absolutely hate me, or that I have no impact. You just watch me passively and then move on to the next thing. This can also be done passively. If you just subscribe, what happens is that you tell the YouTube god that the people subscribing, and it just ensure that I reach out to more people. It just helps me to make this whole side of my life be a little more productive, be a little more meaningful for me. And when I get meaning out of this whole exercise, I'll probably be able to give more back to the community. And I think we do have a very interesting and tight-knit community going. I know most people by not by the internet names on YouTube. So if you want to support me, and if you absolutely hate me, that's fine. Let me know why you hate me. But subscribe. What else? That's all I can say. Now, coming back, I really think that this is going to be a huge hit for the market. Now, why is that? I am although a bit disappointed about a few things. I am a bit disappointed about how early it goes to 6 and 6.3. But I think that's expected. Nikon is trying to save the weight and all that. However, I did kind of expect that maybe we'll have 5.6 at 500 mil, and then we'll only reach 6.3 beyond 500 mil, but that didn't happen. So it's not a complaint. It's just that you have at times you have those small wishes, small little expectations, small little things that you kind of want, something that makes your deal just perfect for a use case. 6.3 is not bad at all. It's only one third of a stop less than 5.6, so it's okay. But that was expectation. I think Nikon did meet the expectation on size and weight. Okay, the weight is significantly, I think, 2 3 hundred grams lesser than the 200 to 500, which was definitely not as weather sealed as not as well built as this one. I don't have the lens. I haven't. I'm probably get my hands onto the lens in the next few weeks. But this looks very well built. This looks completely weather sealed. Internal zooming, and the zoom throw, okay, is very short. Apparently, the Sony has also a pretty short zoom throw. But keeping the zoom throw very short means that you can just move from, you locate your object or subject quickly at the wide end at 180 and then suddenly you want to zoom in, you zoom in onto the subject very quickly, and that saves a lot of time. You're now suddenly a lot more efficient. It also helps track something is sort of flying towards you or running away from you. You can track them faster, right? And it's just a lot more ergonomic. It's a one hand operation. It's not a two-hand operation. You like do this and then go back and do this. Doesn't Fantastic job by Nikon there. So I think the weight is great. It's about 2 kilos. The zoom throw is fantastic. The reviews that I saw showed that the picture quality is really good. The one thing where I have a little bit of sort of exploration to do is to understand the bokeh quality, because it's a 6.3 at 600 mil, right? So I don't know how good the bokeh is going to be in terms of, is it nervous, it is smooth. At times you like the character. If it's a bit nervous, it's all right, because it's a 1.2 lens or it's a 1.8 lens. But in this case, it's a 6.3 lens. So uh, what we need is a smoother rendering of the bokeh, of the background, and it's going to be shot. Your shooting scenario is going to be like when there's a lot of foliage, a lot of trees in the background and grass and stuff like that. So they typically look nervous in the background when they're blurred out. But that's exactly what remains to be seen. How does it render the background? How does it render the blur, the bokeh? And a lot of purists will say the blur doesn't matter. What are you talking about? The quality. What is the quality of a blur? In this case, it matters because a lot of wildlife photography is essentially wildlife portraiture. Essentially, it's that. So, in that, keeping that in mind, the quality of blur is something that I'm personally interested in. So I'm probably going to look forward to reviews. I don't know if Matt Irwin is going to get a copy, and if he's going to get a copy, the one thing that I want to see in Matt's video is just a comparison of the bokeh rendition. Maybe take a 100 to 400 or 400 4.5 and compare the bokeh at the long end for similar type of background and subjects. So that's about it, guys. I'd like you to really subscribe and help me out however you can. Maybe when you write a comment, that helps me. When you like or dislike a video, if you hate me, dislike it, that helps me. If you subscribe to the channel, definitely does. And if you want to support a lot more directly, there's a thanks button. So I have given myself a little bit of a target. Okay, I want to kind of, this is the target for me. I want to I have given a target of reaching 5,000 subscribers by the end of July. And I think it's a sort of, given the history of this channel, it's optimistic. I don't know whether I'll be able to reach that, but I'll try to create content that help me reach there, and I'm definitely going to ask your support for that. Okay, that's about it. I'm going to see you soon with another video. I think in the next few hours after this video has been posted. So I have a long conversation with Baron. Very interesting conversation about the entire Nikon system. We talk about the Z6 III, the ZF, the Z7 III. The ZF is coming, huh? The ZF is coming. The Z8, the Z7 III, not the Z8 III. Probably some crop sensor cameras, more lenses. There was a long conversation and very, very, very engaging, interesting conversations. You will see me yawning in that video a little bit here and there, because for me it was Indian time. It was pretty late into the night. So look forward to that video. and I'll post that video after a few hours of posting this one. Okay, for the last time. See you again with another one.